Welcome back, race fans, to another Supercross video. And in this video, I'm going to go over the sport and how I think it's in a little bit of danger. Well, let's get started. So to start it off here, as you can see on the screen, I got a couple guys and a couple of their ages. So Eli Tomac is 30 years old, and most guys that have done what he's done in the sport, they've already retired. He's got 4 Motocross championships and 2 Supercross championships. And last season, he swept it all. And I heard he's only going to do a Supercross only this year for 2023. So we'll see. That usually starts the whole I'm on my way out type thing, you know. They don't do motocross because motocross is 30 minutes, 2 laps, gnarly tracks. It's usually what happens. Next on the list, I would put Cooper Webb. He's 27 years old, but he's already won 2 titles, and he's already started to decline. And you could see it in him. It's hard for him because a lot like Ricky Carmichael and Ryan Villopoto, when you're winning, it takes a lot out of you winning titles because you've got to be the best of the best week in, week out. You got to train hard year in, year out. And it takes the sport they love and makes it less fun. It really does. And I think if Cooper wins another title within the next 2 years, I think he's done. I don't see him riding until he's 32, 33 years old. He's 27. And at that point, Carmichael had already retired. You know, Villopoto retired really close around that age as well. Granted, Villopoto went for 4 straight. But, I mean, Cooper won 1 in 19, lost in 20, won in 21. So, and he lost last year. We'll see. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And Adamson Cerullo, he's 26 years old, but he's been having a lot of injuries. One ended his season last year, ended Supercross and Motocross. Didn't have feeling in his arm. It'd go numb. That's dangerous. Hopefully he's back and we can see him stay healthy. A lot of guys take a couple years to get rolling. Even in the lights class, though, he had injuries. So he's older than he is based on his injuries. Hopefully he sticks around. That'd be good. It'd be nice to see him become one of the older guys in the sport. Growing up, I thought he was going to be the one that could beat James Stewart and be the fastest guy on the planet because he was just an amazing amateur. Then I have Ken Roczen. He's 29. In April of 2023, he'll be 29, so he's 28 currently. And that'll be towards the end of the Supercross season. He'll turn 29. But there again, he had the gnarly arm injury. And Kenny is a little older than... Kenny's a little older because of the arm injury, I would say. Joey Savacci is 29 in February. And Joey's pretty new to the Supercross scene in the 450 class. Marvin Musquin's 33 years old on Supercross-only contracts. He's on his way out of the Supercross. If not after this year, the next. We'll see. Malcolm Stewart's also 30 years old. I don't see Malcolm retiring anytime soon. He's only had the 1 leg injury, and he started his career a little later than others. So there's a chance Malcolm can continue. He had his best season last year in Supercross, finishing 3rd overall. So we'll see. Dylan Ferrandis in May will be 29 years old. Again, another rookie who came over from overseas and was a late rookie to the 450 class. He only had, last year was his first. It would have been 2 years ago. So, yeah, this is his third year in the 450 class. He's 29 years old. Justin Hill is 28 years old in May. He did take a couple years off, so maybe that'll help him extend his career. Maybe it won't. We'll see. He is back this year, so I'm excited for that. Justin Barcia will be 31 in March. Aaron Plessinger will be 27 in January. A lot of older guys here. Plessinger would be nice. He's still pretty young to the sport. Another guy that came a little bit later. Age of these guys is really starting to kill the sport. We got older guys in the sport right now, and the sport doesn't normally let you go this long. You know, we do see a lot of guys being able to ride a little bit longer. Dean Wilson is 31 years old. Justin Bogle will be 30 in March. Justin Brayton will be 39 in March. Shane McElrath is 28 years old. Jason Anderson in February turns 30. So another guy at the top. You got my top guys all in their 30s or right around their 30s. Other than Chase Sexton. Chase is on the younger side, so he's going to be able to carry on the torch, so to speak, for the sport. Our two rookies this year are respectively going to be 29 in March, and that's Colt Nichols and Christian Craig, who's 31 this year as well. So two rookies are coming in at they're towards the end of their Supercross and Motocross careers. I get they're rookies in the 450 class, but they're not going to be here for 10 years. They're not going to be 39 and 41 in Supercross and Motocross. Our sport is a quick turnaround time. In 4 years, how many of these guys are going to still be there? I don't see Tomac there in 4 years. He's just done too much for the sport. I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see it. I don't see Cooper Webb racing in 4 years. Ken Roxon won't be there in 4 years. You might have Joey Savacci at the end of his career in 4 years. Adam Cianciarulo, I hope, will still be there in 4 years. I don't see Marvin Musquin there in 4 years. You might see Malcolm at the end of his career in 4 years. You might still see Dylan Ferrandis in 4 years. If Justin Hill is back in Supercross, you might have him in 4 years. I don't see Justin Barcia in 4 years. Aaron Plessinger, I'd hope to see in 4 years. I think we'll still have Plessinger around in 4 years. Dean Wilson in 4 years, I don't see him racing Supercross or Motocross. I don't see Bogle in 4 years. Justin Brayton for sure I don't see in 4 years. We'll probably see him at Loretta's Linz racing the 40 and over class. Shane McElrath in 4 years, I could see Shane still there. And Jason Anderson I hope to still see in 4 years. Colt Nichols I could see in 4 years, and Christian Craig I could still see in 4 years just because they're so late. Barring any crazy injuries, which I hope never happens. That's my take on it, is you're losing your top riders in the next 4 years. So you're going to have Chase Sexton out of this group currently. You'll have Chase Sexton still there for sure, 100%. I didn't even put him on this list because he's young. But after Chase, you don't have a lot of youth in the 450 class. You have a lot of age. And with rookies coming in that are older than Chase, you have even more age. The 450 class right now is old. And I hate to say that because it's a super deep class right now. But that's the 450 class. In the 250 class now, this is where it gets interesting. Because you'll have Jet Lawrence next season. He'll be 20 years old in the class. And so you'll have Jet and Chase kind of running the 450 class for a few years. Maybe even the next decade. Jeremy Martin in the 250 class is 29 years old. Austin Faulkner's 24 years old. Mitchell Oldenburg's 28 years old. Justin Cooper's 25 years old. Jordan Smith and RJ Hampshire are both 26 years old. So when they move up, they're not too much further on their way out as well. Jordan Smith's had a lot of injuries over his career. He may never move to the 450 class. And that's sad to say. Because right now, out of the guys I just said, Jeremy Martin should already be on a 450. Austin Faulkner should be on a 450, in my opinion, this year. Mitchell Oldenburg should have already been on a 450. Jordan Smith and RJ Hampshire should already be on 450s as well. So this class would be a lot thinner, but you'd see a lot of the younger guys come up and get that experience and confidence a little bit quicker. Next wave, you got Hunter Lawrence. He's 23 years old. Hopefully next year or the year after we'll see him on a 450. I don't want to see him go past 25 in the 250 class. You got Joe Shimoda at 20 years old. I'm excited. I didn't know he was that young. I thought he was a little bit older. So Joe is a lot of the future for Supercross. So that's going to be a good sign for him coming up. We'll have Jet Lawrence and Joe Shimoda battles for quite a long time. Kind of like the Honda Cowie of the 80s. Rick Johnson and Jeff Ward battles, kind of like that. Cameron McAdoo's 25 years old. I would have liked to see him on a 450 a long time ago as well. Like last year, honestly. Michael Moisman's 23 years old. Garrett Marchbanks is only 21. He's a bigger guy too. Kind of excited to see him on a 450. It'd be cool to see him move up soon. He's pretty young. Max Volan's only been in Supercross for 2 years and Motocross for 2 years. So he came in at 18. He's already 20. I'd like to only see him in Supercross or Motocross for another 2 years and move up on the 250 class for another 2 years. Seth Hamaker's 22 years old. So, in my opinion, he's got one more year and then he needs to move up. I'd like him to change the rule for the lights class, a lot like overseas does, the MX1 and MX2. MX1, you can only be in there for so long, and you move up to the MX2 class. It's an age limitation, so you see people move up and move out. We won't have domination of the 250s for older guys. I don't know. I like the younger. I like giving the younger guys a chance. The older guys are older. Put them up to the 450 class. Anyways, next up we got Nate Thrasher. He's only 20 years old, so that's a good sign. Pierce Brown, also 20 years old. Levi Kitchen will be 22 in February. So for me, he'd only have another year in this class. He's a late joiner since last year would have been his rookie season at 21 years old. And then we have our 4 super young guys, which I'm excited about. Ryder DeFrancesco, Chance Hymas, Hayden Deegan, and Talon Hawkins. Those are the 4 amateur come-ups. It'd be nice to see Ryder get a championship at some point early. Hayden Deegan early. Chance early, Get them in and out of the 250s, out of them, and into the 450s quicker. They're young. It looks like Ryder is going to race, and I don't think this is a smart idea, and I'm not sure why they're doing this, and I'm going to have another video going over this, but it looks like he's going to do futures again this year, which doesn't make sense. I'm guessing he's going to ride some select East Coast rounds. Chance Hymas is set to run some select East Coast rounds, which also doesn't make sense. Both Ryder and Chance raced futures last year, raced really well. They battled each other. They were the absolute number ones. They were guaranteed. They could have got bad starts and came through the pack. They were just that much faster than everybody else. For me, those two should already just run all East Coast. Let it go. Let them roll. They're only 17. Let's get them started early. One of them has a chance to potentially win the title on one of those coasts. You never know. Things happen. It'd be nice to see him get out there. I don't want to see him in futures again. Hayden Deegan, I don't want to see in futures. I know he needs 6 points to race Supercross. So let's get him the 6 points early on the West Coast. Get him on the East Coast, lined up, ready to go, and let's see it happen. I don't want to wait. He's 16 now. Let him have 4 years in the 250 class. Let him hit 17, 18, 19, 20. Probably win 2 or 3 titles out of that and get forced out of the class. You know, these guys are fast. I don't want to see him sit in the class for 7, 8 years. And I don't think Ryder and Hayden and Chance are going to do that. But I also didn't think Jeremy Martin would do it. And you see where Jeremy's been. I also didn't think Faulkner would be there still. And you see where Faulkner's been. So, Justin Cooper, same thing. A lot of these guys should have already been moved up to the 450 class. Bothers me. The sport's not looking good at the top. And when you only have, Jets dominate in the 450s. Or, sorry, the 250s. He moved up to the 450s for MX of Nations and smacked them. Looked really good. So I'm excited to see him move up. But you're going to have him and Chase really all there because everyone else is just going to be retiring. And when that big group of 30-year-olds retires, you're not going to have a lot of guys there. You're just not going to have a lot of guys there. Are they going to force move people up? See, I don't know. And I'm just not a fan of where the sport is right now. I do love that these guys are riding into their 30s. Don't get me wrong. But I don't like to see the majority of the class in their 30s. We have a lot of guys in their 30s. A lot of guys in their 30s. We've got Tomac, Malcolm, Barsha, Dean Wilson, Justin Bogle, Justin Brayton. Jason Anderson this year will be 30. Christian Craig. Marvin Musquin. And right there on the cusp at 29. So you've got 9 guys in the 450 class, 30 or older. Right on the cusp, you've got Ferrandis at 29. You've got Colt Nichols, who will be 29. You got Ken Roxon. You got Joey Savacci. So you got another 4 there. You have 13 guys in the 450 class lining up 29 or older. 29 or older. So under 29 years old, you've got McElrath, Plessinger, Justin Hill, Adamson Cerullo, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton. And I'm sure there's a couple other guys that are younger that I'm not mentioning, but they're not, top tier previous champion type guys. And if there is, let me know down below in the comments if I'm missing somebody. You only got 5 guys in the 450 class that are under 29 years old. 2 of which are 28. Five guys. The sport's in a tough spot right now. And it's because lights riders, the 250 riders, are allowed to stay in that class for too long. When your rookies coming up are Colt Nichols, Christian Craig, 29 and 31 years old, those are your rookies this year. Last year, who were your rookies? I can't think off the top of my head, man. Who were our rookies last year? Savacci wasn't a rookie, but what, 2 years ago? just tough, man. It's just tough. I really can't think about who our rookies were last year. It's terrible. Anyways, next year's rookies aren't going to be too much younger, other than Jet. Jet will be a 450 Supercross rider next year, so that's good. At 20 years old, that's a great future. Hopefully we get some more guys. It'd be nice to see some of the 250 riders move up. And especially in the next coming years, we're going to have a new factory Triumph team up here. So we're going to need another rider to step in. Anyways, that's the sport in a hold for me right now. It's not in a good spot. I'd like to see it get younger in the 250 class. The 450 class, I love the age, right? I love the fact that there's age, but mix it up. Have some other guys. Your rookie shouldn't be coming in at 29 years old in March and 31 years old. That should not be your rookies. One of your rookies is older than everybody in the class, except for Justin Barcia, Dean Wilson, Marvin Musquin, and Justin Brayton. He's older than everybody else. That's a rookie. You got 4 guys he's not older than. He's the same age as 2 of them. So technically 2 guys are older. Marvin Musquin and Justin Brayton. That's just not how the sport needs to be. Now, that being said, I do like how long they're riding for, so don't take that the wrong way. But you can't have your rookies coming into the class older than the other guys. That's bad news bears. And I know some people, I think there should be some rules, because some people take time off, come back. I know Christian Craig took time off, came back. Kind of a late start. I think at minimum, if you get a late start, you got to at least have 2 years in the 250 class, and then you're out. You either got 2 years and or 23 years old, and you're out. You got 2 championships, you're out. So if you're 16, you come in, and let's say this year Deegan races, wins the title. Next year wins the title, he's out. 18 years old on a 450. Let's go. Get him on it. I know it's a little young, but he won 2 titles. He's fast. Let's get him on the 450s. Let's get rolling. Let's get our greatest 450 rider of all time right there. Get it started early. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but if it happened, you'd have a good chance of him being very dominant on the 450 too. So, you get your 2 championships and you're out. 23 years old and you're out. Move to the 450 class. If you're fast, you're going to get a ride. You don't need 250 championships to get a ride. What you need to do is you need to get out the 250 class and go show yourself on a 450. Make mains get a ride. It'll happen. If you're fast and you're going to go get podiums, you're going to get a ride. It's going to happen. 2 championships, a minimum of 2 years, or 23 years old. So if you come in at 21, you're out by 23. You come in at 22, you're out by 24, because you got to have a minimum of 2 years in the 250 class. That would change the sport a lot. Is it for the better? Who knows? 250 guys, though, you've got rookies coming up every year. You got 4 dudes coming up into the rankings, minimum a year that you could do. Minimum. And it gives these younger guys a chance. You won't have Star Racing Yamaha giving a guy a 1-year chance to show himself, and if he has an injury, he doesn't get a chance to show himself, And so then he gets cut, and then nobody else picks him up. Right now, you'd have so many rides open. If you looked at it, right, and if you were 23 or older, or 2 titles and you're out, which 2 titles and you're out would mean Jet would be out of the 450s, which he's going to be anyways. But you'd have Jeremy Martin on a 450. So there's a ride open down at the team he's on. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Austin Faulkner would be on a 450 currently. So there's a Kawasaki ride open. Mitchell Oldenburg would be on a 450. Pretty sure he's on Firepower Honda, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a ride open. Justin Cooper would be on a 450. That's a Star Racing Yamaha job open. Jordan Smith would be on a 450. That's another Star Racing Yamaha job that would be open. RJ Hampshire would be on a 450. That's a Rockstar Energy Husqvarna job open. Hunter's in his last year because he's 23 with no titles. Joe would still be there. Cameron McAdoo would be on a 450. That's a Kawasaki ride open. So two of the Kawasaki's and two of the Star Racing Yamaha teams would have a spot open right now. Michael Moisman would be on his last year. Everybody else would still be fine. So you'd have 450 jobs or 250 jobs open right now on big name teams. Sorry. Is that correct? Yamaha. Yeah. It is. It'd be 4. Faulkner's job, McAdoo's job, Cooper's job, Jordan Smith's job, and RJ. So there'd be 5 big name spots available for young guys coming in. Other guys like Nick Romano and all these other guys, who they just let go? They just let go of a fast kid too that they had. Star Racing did. And nobody picked him up. So he's on like a smaller team. You'd have Carson Mumford. He'd be on a better bike. He wouldn't be on the Bar X Suzuki. He'd be on one of these 5 spots until he graduated. It gives more opportunity for the younger guys coming up. I mean, I feel like it's been a few years since we've had young guys come out of the class. Jet being the last one previous. Jet was racing Jalik Swoll. So Jalik came up too. I don't have Jalik on here. I knew he was young. So yeah, I don't know. I think that would be a better situation. You win your 2 titles, you're out that class. Move along. You know, you win a title, great. But at 23, if you didn't win a second one, you're gone. Bye. 23 years old. Move to the 450 class. 23 is your last year. At 24, when you turn 24, you're no longer allowed to throw your leg over a 250 bike in pro motocross and or supercross. You can finish out the series you're on, but the next following series, you got to be on a 450. Sorry. It's got to happen. You can't have 29-year-olds and 26-year-olds in the 250 class taking up factory rides for these young guys that all they need is some experience, some confidence, and they could be fast. There's a lot of kids out there that are fast, not getting these rides because these old heads are staying in 250s way too long. You had Ryan Villapoto race the 250s, go to the 450s, win 4 titles, and retire before a rider that raced with him in 250s moved to 450s. Martin Davalos did that. He was in the 250s for Villapoto's entire 450 career and 250 career. They were rookies like together, I'm pretty sure, on the 250. And Martin didn't go to the 450 until well into his 30s. Might have been like 29. Either way, Martin Davalos is retired. So like late to the 450 class is not good. Get them in, get them out. If they're not going to win a title in 250s, probably not going to win a title in 450s. Not saying they can't, but letting them stay down there and collect that check that somebody else can be collected, getting better, faster, and confident in the 250 class to move up to the 450 class Seems like the best way to go. You know? You want to hop back down to the 250 class after 23 years old? Take a year off. Go back, get your 2 years in again. Take a year off, get your two. If that's the kind of career you want to run, you only want to run in the 250 class, take a year off. Go back. Get your 2 years in again. I think that's a terrible way to go about it, but I wouldn't let these guys just drop down and race. Anyways, that's my opinion. 250 classes is for the young guys. 450 classes for the old guys. You know, shoot. If you really want to do it, you could go 250s for everybody till they're 20 years old. Okay, you got till you're 20 on the 250s. You move into a 300 class. Then you're in the 300 because those are available. Move into a 300 class until you're 23, and then you move up to the 450. Something like that. You know? Maybe we do something, I don't know. Maybe we bring back a 125 class where for the first 2 years or first 3 years you got to run that. The 125cc two-stroke class at Supercross. And then you move to the 250cc 450 and race there. I don't know. Those seem like bad ideas, but something's got to happen. You just can't have the majority of your top riders in your 250 class be old. Like Jet is the perfect example of what you want done. Jet is gonna come in. He won a Supercross title. He's going to try to defend this year. The previous year he didn't win it. So he's got a Supercross title under his belt. And he's got two 250 outdoor championships back to back. That's how you want to do it. Now he's going to move up, go to the 450 class. So, anyways, I know I'm rambling. That's the state of the sport. I am excited for the young guys. Ryder DeFrancesco, Chance Hymas, Hayden Deegan, Talon Hawkins. There's a couple other guys coming up that are amateurs too, as well as Joe Shimoda, Jet Lawrence moving on. It'd be nice. It's good. I'm hoping to see Austin Faulkner, Hunter Lawrence on 450s with Justin Cooper soon. That'll be nice. Clean out some of the spots. It'd be nice to see RJ Hampshire, Jordan Smith just move along. Mitchell Oldenburg move along. Move to the 450 class. Make it happen. They're moving rules and changing rules and doing different things all the time. But just make them clear and cut. 23-year-old, last year you're in. As soon as you turn 24, you're no longer eligible to throw your leg over a 250 in the AMA Supercross and Motocross. You can finish out the series you're in. After that, you're on a 450. Or you don't race no more. And that might happen too. Take a year off. Come back to the 250s. You need 2 years experience again. Come back and do it again. Try again. But take a year off. Is that good for the sport? Probably not. But I'm tired of seeing 25, 26, 28-year-olds, 29-year-olds even, in the 450 class. Or, sorry, 250 class. Taking these spots. There's 5 spots taken up. Factory rides. 5 of them. Anyways, comment down below what you guys think. If I missed any riders, let me know. What do you guys think about the 450 class being older? Does that kind of scare you? The future of Supercross in 4 years. Do we see Cooper Webb? Do we see Adam Cianciarulo? Shoot, do we see too many of them in 4 years, you know? In 4 years, do we still see Joe Shimoda on a 250? Do we see Faulkner on a 250? Do we see Jordan Smith or RJ Hampshire on a 250 still? Do we have Max Volan on a 250? Michael Moisman, Cameron McAdoo, Levi Kitchen? Who knows? In 4 years, is Hayden already on a 450? Ryder DeFrancesco on a 450 already? Hopefully. We'll see. Comment down below what you guys think. Let me know. Like, subscribe. Let's get it rolling. Thanks for watching. On to the next. Brap.